then we have these provisions, right? So under Factories Act, we have first of all interpretation clauses where we have some 4-5 definitions that we need to study. Then we have all these different provisions. Now, with regard to health of worker, safety of worker, there will be a lot of sections included, right? If it's possible, you can try to remember the sections. Otherwise, this table you can try to remember. So whatever is the provision, right, from here you can revise that. Okay, fine. Health and safety of worker, it is included under these two chapters, chapter 3 and chapter 4, and these are the sections that we have. Similarly, for working condition, for leave and all also, I will try to add that part here. All right. Regarding safety, again, we have few more provisions that I think the next chapter, right? Chapter 3 is there that we will discuss. And another one that we have is with regard to hazardous process, right? So if we look at here, so it is chapter 4A. That means initially when this act was made applicable, this provision was not there. Okay, so this was inserted at a later stage only by this one, right? Chapter 4A, and these are the sections. So after section 41, these sub clauses were being inserted, 41A to 41H. So these are the provisions which we have. Central government controls factory policy under the Factories Act 1948, and there is Chief Inspector of the State Government of India, which is supposed to grant permission. So if someone wants to open a factory, they will have to mention the work that they will be carrying out, and accordingly, they will mention every single detail. They will submit an application, and then that application will be examined by them. After looking at that application, what work they are willing to do. So there will be different categories of factories, right? Depending on what purpose what is the work they are doing, what will be its effect on the environment, all that stuff. It is accordingly like divided into different categories. So permission is granted on the basis of work that they have selected, right? So based on that, they will be given. Hence, the higher authorities always consider the initial location of the factory, what work they are doing. So there will be these industrial areas, residential areas, commercial areas. Those demarcations are made because it's very clear if there's a factory, it is going to cause some harm in the environment also, right? So accordingly, it would again be decided where it can be set up. Although so these special provisions relating to hazardous process accordingly mentions regarding all that steps that will be followed by the government. Although for the expansion of any hazardous process, Factories appoints aside this also. So this is the provision. Chapter 4A, provisions relating to hazardous processes, and these are the sections which we have. It was initially not there in Factories Act 1948, but it was only in the year 1987 that through this Factories Amendment Act of 1987, these provisions were being inserted. So this thing also you can remember, it is 48, it is 87. So what are these provisions that we have? These are the sections. Section 41A, it talks about appointment of a committee. So this committee will be appointed who will receive and advise on applications regarding permission. Before setting up of the factory, they will submit an application mentioning all the details, what they want to do, how the process will be carried out, and accordingly this committee will receive the application and they will advise on that application where the factory involves hazardous process. And this committee will consist of all these members. It's like a big committee with many members. So you can remember few of them might be, and then you can include that there are other members as well, because it's like a long list of people who will be there as a part of this committee, because they need to look at every single aspect of the factory, right? What all things it will be affected. So there are a lot of members, and accordingly this committee will be set up. Main purpose is taking application and then advising on the same. Now, second provision is section 41B. It talks about disclosure of information. So occupier of every factory involving hazardous process are bound to disclose to chief inspector, local authorities, and local public all information regarding dangers, health hazards, quantity and characteristics of waste and disposal, modality the measures to overcome such hazards in the manufacturing, transportation, or storage process. Sometimes there may be some rules or regulations that the occupier needs to obtain permission or NOC from the local people, or might be the inspector wants to inspect if they are following all those safety measures, rules and regulations or not, right? So in such cases, what happens is this occupier or manager or whoever has been giving that responsibility, that person will have this obligation that he or she discloses all those necessary information properly and in a correct manner. So if there are some harmful materials that is being produced or something, the quantity also, characteristics, all that stuff needs to be declared. So regarding this, there was one case also, right? Like Taj Trapezium case, it is said like that. It's like a public interest litigation which was filed regarding this like discoloration of Taj Mahal, right? By being worried because of that, there was a public interest litigation which was filed, and it was said that in that area, right, where there is Taj Mahal plus many other such like monuments or some like historical places were there. So because there were so many industries nearby, and because of the pollutants that they were releasing, these like places, right, they were being discolored or some other effect was being caused. Accordingly, this application was filed in the court, and court said that we cannot just simply ask all those factories to close down, but court issued some guidelines, and accordingly those guidelines had to be followed by the factories. And also court said that from time to time, right, there will be like some inspections that will be done in order to ensure that these factories are following those guidelines or not, right? So such kind of obligations may be imposed, wherein the factory or the owner or occupier of the factory will have to disclose all such information. Okay, so I'll include that case also somewhere here. Public interest litigation case. So accordingly, if there is such kind of a ruling or something, it needs to be followed accordingly. Whatever guidelines have come, those guidelines need to be followed by them. Then third one is section 41C, specific responsibility of the occupier in relation to hazardous process. Apart from disclosing this information, this occupier will have such responsibility as mentioned here. Maintain accurate and up-to-date health records, or as the case may be, medical records of all those workers, because those workers are in direct contact with those hazardous things. So their health is going to be affected. So if there are guidelines that every 6 months there needs to be medical checkup done, then those records need to be properly maintained so that it can be seen what is the impact of those hazardous process in health of employees or workers. So those records need to be properly maintained with regard to workers in the factory who are exposed to any chemical, toxics, or any other harmful substance within the premises, which are manufactured, stored, handled, or transported, or such records shall be accessible to workers subject to conditions as may be prescribed. If in any case worker has like there is like a major impact on his health, and if there is a provision that that worker would be getting some kind of benefits, right, some kind of monetary benefits or something, in such cases those records need to be made available to the worker also. Otherwise, if there is some inspection going on, those records need to be produced. If there are some local bodies or authorities who are having power to inspect such documents, that also needs to be produced before them. So they are having a responsibility to maintain such records, up-to-date health records. Appoint person who possesses qualification and experience in handling hazardous substances and are competent to supervise such handling within the factory and to provide at the workplace all the necessary facilities for protecting the workers in the prescribed manner. So these substances, right, which are might be harmful or dangerous for the health of human being, it is not that everyone can handle it, right? Might be there would be some materials or some items which needs to be stored properly in a certain temperature, right? There will be so many different criteria. So in order to ensure that these things are properly maintained without causing much harm to the people around, they need to accordingly appoint some qualified and experienced persons, right? Like we have seen, right? I think during last lockdown, there was this gas leak case, right? In Visakhapatnam, 2019 or 20. Do you remember that?
Gas leak.
Yeah, gas leak. I think during first lockdown or just before that. I guess 2019 end or something. So these kind of cases are like very common, right? So what happens there is those substances.
You were talking about this Andhra Pradesh, madam?
Yeah, Andhra Pradesh one only.
Andhra Pradesh one, no? I think it was in 2019, correct? End of 2019.
2000, yeah, end of 2000. End of 2019 only, I guess. Then there was similar kind of a case.
No, I think it was in the it was in the middle of COVID. I think after starting the COVID, March 2020. So probably after 2-4 months, the incident has taken place.
Okay. During lockdown, that means.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just around that time only. So what happens there is those things, right? That similar case was there in Delhi also many years back. So what happened, and that case led to development of a new principle also, okay, called as this absolute liability and strict liability, right? So those principles also.
It was in May 2020.
May 2020. Okay.
I just Googled it. Yeah, May 2020. Yeah.
Okay. So that also you can mention here, all right? That regarding those cases, we can avoid such cases if some experienced people are there who knows how to handle those substances, right? Same case happened in Delhi also. Oleum gas leak case, you can look for that case also. All right. So those cases also you can insert that those are also very, like risky cases, not just for workers, but also for people around that factory or industry also. Right. So for that, qualified people needs to be appointed who has got experience in handling such matters so that there is no chance or no case of negligence or anything like that. Provide for medical examination of every worker. Before such worker is assigned to a job involving any sort of handling or working with any kind of hazardous process, is complete health checkup needs to be done. And same again, records need to be maintained by this occupier, right? While continuing their job and after he has ceased in that particular work, right? After his end works also at such intervals, not exceeding 12 months. It means at least once every year, checkup will be done and accordingly those records will be properly kept in the premises, right? They will be maintaining those records. If needed, those will be supplied also to the worker. Section 41B says appointment of inquiry committee by central government. All those safety steps we are talking about, this needs to be done, that needs to be done. But after that also, there is no guarantee that nothing wrong will happen. In case something goes wrong, there will be appointment of an inquiry committee by central government. And in the event of the occurrence of any sort of extraordinary situation involving a factory engaged in hazardous process, to inquire into the standard of health and safety observations in the factory in finding out the causes of any sort of failure or neglect, etc. Might be there may be some local people who complains about it, or maybe some workers only if they complain that safety measures are not being properly taken up. Right? In such cases, inquiry committee may be set up and accordingly they would inspect all the things, whether everything is done properly or not. Similarly, this committee would consist of a chairman plus 2 members, and they would recommend the committee are advisory in nature. Whatever recommendations this committee is giving, those would be advisory in nature, but again, all those inquiries would be done, right? So, and in case workers feel that no safety measures are there, they can complain, and that complaint would go to inspector of these factories and they can pass some orders, and those orders would be binding on the factory. So those process is also being set up. This is appointment of inquiry committee by central government in case there is any sort of question with regard to health and safety matters followed inside the factory. And in case something goes wrong also, that time also some inquiry committee is set up. Like in that Andhra Pradesh thing, there was, I think, 5 members committee that was set up in order to ensure who was negligent, right? Was it because of negligence? Was it because of some sort of inevitable accident, or what was it? So regarding that, it will be accordingly done. Then we have section 41E, emergency standards. Under this section, if the central government is satisfied that no standards of safety or inadequate standards are prescribed to hazardous process, it may, through competent expert bodies, lay down standards which shall be enforceable as if they had been incorporated in this rule. So in case government feels that there are some more or advanced safety standards that needs to be set up, accordingly experts will be experts' opinion will be taken, and based on that those provisions will be laid down, and those provisions will be accordingly binding. So if central government is satisfied that no standards is being prescribed with regard to hazardous process, they can make those changes. If they feel that these provisions are not enough, they can accordingly incorporate it. So there are something called as rules, okay? Like there is one act, right? So act would basically provide for all the, like process and all that stuff. Like might be they would say that this needs to be done, that needs to be done. But how that thing will be done actually, right? With regard to that, we sometimes have rules also. Like there would be this Factories Act, and then there may be some rules with regard to it. There may be one Motor Vehicles Act, there might be some rules with regard to it. So rules are nothing but just like an act only, it would be having provisions and it would specify those rules. All right, so there can be rules under this act, and accordingly those rules would be binding on people like these factories. Okay, so this is emergency standard. Then we have permissible limits of exposure of chemical and toxic substances. What is the limit that will be prescribed? Because completely we cannot just ban it, because that is needed for many kind of work, right? Production work. So that cannot be completely stopped, but there may be permissible limits that is being set up. So the maximum permissible threshold limits of exposure of chemical and toxic substances in manufacturing processes, whether it's hazardous or just a normal factory, in any factory shall be of the value as indicated in second schedule. So to this particular legislation, right, this Factories Act, we are also having a schedule, right? So that schedule would specify that particular like standards. Okay, so there are basically 3 different schedules, I think. Am I sharing those? Yeah, I'm sharing the screen over there. Yeah, so there are these 3 different schedules, right? So the second schedule they are saying is providing for that. So just open it. Okay. So accordingly, that particular schedule will provide for it. But now, once it is being provided, right, it is not like it would say these are the limits that are being set up. Yeah, okay. This is the second schedule, right? So it is permissible limit of exposure. It is again substance wise, the limit is being provided. But now this was provided when it became applicable, right? When this, say it was inserted in 1987. But after that might be, there would be certain different things that might be suggested. So there is one more provision that yes, whatever is mentioned in second schedule, that would be the permissible limit, but central government is authorized to make any sort of changes that they want with regard to this schedule whenever needed, right? They would accordingly implement those changes. If they find out that this particular substances might be causing a lot of harm, they can reduce its limit or something like that can be done. Section 41G, workers' participation in safety management. So this provision requires the occupier of the factory involving hazardous process, unless exempted by state government, to set up safety committee consisting of equal number of representatives of workers and management to maintain proper safety and health at work. So a safety committee will also be set up in the factory, and it will consist of equal number of members from workers as well as management, because management may be taking decisions based on how much cost will be involved in providing those safety standards. But workers would know it better, what is the risk that is involved in dealing with those materials, right? So accordingly, in order to ensure there is balance of both, this provision is being inserted. And in labor law, you would see in many cases it says that workers should be involved in decisions of the factory, just to ensure that those decisions are not hampering their rights. So same, this also is a provision wherein this is being mentioned. Okay, that workers also should be participating in those safety matters whenever decision needs to be taken. Then right of workers to warn about imminent danger. If the workers employed in hazardous process have reasonable apprehension of likelihood of any imminent danger, if they feel that might be some substances stored in a factory and they feel that proper temperature is not being maintained there, right? Might be it should be maintained in this temperature or something like that, right? If there is any sort of apprehension in the mind of those workers who are working to their lives or health due to any accident, then they may bring that matter into notice of occupier, whoever is their manager or someone. They will let them know, manager or any other person who is in charge, and to the inspector directly or through their safety committee. If a certain safety committee is being set up, that safety committee would refer the matter to inspector. In case safety committee was not set up because maybe state government had exempted it, in such cases it would again be directly referred to the inspector. On such notice, occupier, agent or any person in charge, if satisfied, will take remedial measures. What can be done? If temperature is not being properly maintained, they would try to maintain it. Whatever remedial measures they can take, they would do it. And will send report of whatever actions they have taken to the nearest inspector to whom they had already referred the matter, right? They would also inform about whatever safety steps they have taken to prevent the harm for the time being. If the occupier or agent is not satisfied of such imminent danger, occupier or management feels that there is no risk as such, but workers are feeling that there is risk involved, then in that case, matter will be referred to the inspector, and whatever decision or order is being passed by the inspector, that order will be final and binding. So inspector may also come there, inspect the premises and all that stuff also. Whatever is the observation, based on observation, whatever report or order they are giving, that specific order needs to be followed. So if they are mentioning some safety steps needs to be taken, those will be taken, and whatever is mentioned, accordingly it should be followed by them. Okay. So this part is clear, right?
Yes, madam.
And also, I don't think there should be, but in case there is a question like what are the maybe essential features of Factories Act or something like that, you can mention regarding this provisions only, right? Whatever provisions you know, right? From there only you can try to frame that this legislation is providing for these kind of provision, health and safety, this, that, like that also you can frame, okay? Just like this one, that some major provisions that are there, that it mentions with regard to cleanliness inside the premises, in order to ensure there is proper working conditions, sufficient and pure drinking water should be available and accessible to workers. Like that also, you can mention these things, all right, these provisions.